The Holy Trinity of consciousness. Conscious awareness is what is referred to as the Holy Spirit in the Bible. The Holy Spirit actively works to awaken people who are presently turned away from God consciousness. It affords the individual spiritual insights, helping them to recognize deficiencies such as neglected needs. In doing so, it illuminates the absence of something essential. Then it offers direct communication between the consciousness of self and the consciousness of being. This consciousness of being is what is referred to as Christ consciousness in religious circles. Conscious awareness plays a couple of important functions. First, it condemns our unconscious identity by allowing us to view it through eyes of spiritual and objective truth. This allows us to recognize habitual patterns of thought and belief that have kept us fragmented. When someone is fragmented, they have become separated from inner wholeness. These limiting patterns are the enemy of consciousness. Anything that creates a barrier between us and conscious awareness is a form of attachment addiction. Attachment addiction is what is referred to as possession in the Bible. It takes two distinct forms. First, we become addictively attached to material possessions, such as money, drugs, codependence, status, etc. Second, and even more insidious, is our inner addictive attachment to ideas, stories, and meaning. The second role of conscious awareness is to confirm. It confirms that the consciousness of being, or Christ consciousness, is our own direct extension of God consciousness within us. It readies our mind to receive spiritual truth by providing a direct line of communication between who we are as humans and what we are as beings. It offers empirical evidence as to the existence of a greater power than self. This greater creative power helps us to connect with and gain insights from a spiritual perspective. When we bring our mind and heart into alignment with this spiritual perspective, we become joyous and serene. These qualities of joy and serenity are what were referred to as the kingdom of heaven in the Bible. As we consistently connect to our living experience through the lens of our spiritual perspective, we recognize and express our authentic truth. This authentic truth is distinctly different from our unconscious identity, an identity that only has relevance within the mind that's devoid of conscious awareness. Sustaining an active connection between who and what we are allows us to sync up with God consciousness. This allows us to become adopted into a collective village of conscious beings. Conscious awareness, or the Holy Spirit, helps to bring us into alignment with the principles and being, these principles and being that are inherent within God consciousness. We do not need to practice these principles. We need only to sustain conscious awareness. Therefore, we are not asked to blindly believe in God consciousness, but to have a direct personal experience with it. If we turn away from our conscious awareness, we will enter into a state of self-imposed denial or ignorance. This turning away from wholeness reopens the void of incompletion or spiritual separation. This activates our attachment addiction. The threat of living life in the throes and anguish of attachment addiction keeps the individual motivated to sustain their conscious connection and thus remain a member of the spiritual village of collective consciousness.